What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, that Pens fan 412, and I'm coming back at you with another Penguins game review after Sunday, 11/20/2022. That's November the 20th, y'all. The Pittsburgh Penguins went into the Chicago BlackHawks dome, their arena, walked in. A lot of things happened in that game. A lot of things that I liked happened in that game. Before we start the video, I just want to say that I am kind of sick. There's been a lot of fluctuating temperatures in the last couple of weeks, and when it goes from 70 to 80 degrees down to like 40 to 50, germs tend to kick in. And so if you guys hear any nasalness, I apologize. Also, I wore a black sleeveless shirt, and as you can tell, my arms keep disappearing. Definitely an oversight, but I'm going to go with it because, you know what? I think it's kind of funny, honestly, watching my arms disappear and then reappear as I move them. It's like magic. Magic. We're all trying to have fun here. And speaking of having fun, I'm going to talk about Evgeny Malkin's 1,000th game played in the NHL. He went out there to have fun. He got a little bit of fun himself, actually, let's be honest. But nobody else could have any more fun than Sidney Crosby in this game, because this man showed up kind of like his mustache out of the blue with a mission, and that mission is to be as successful as physically possible. Well, let's go ahead and roll into the game real quick. First things first, 1 minute and 4 seconds into the first period, Brock McGinn getting a beautiful pass. Crosby, Raquel, McGinn. He slaps it from the left side of the ice, like right above the left face-off dot. And it goes right past Soderblom. Soderblom? Chicago fans, put that in the comments. How do I pronounce that properly? I know he has a really big center brother that plays in Detroit. Pretty cool. But yeah, 1-0 Pittsburgh. And this just starts the pinnacle of Crosby just trying to make everything work. And he's actually doing it for the most part. So the first period was actually pretty wild. Casey DeSmith is in net for Pittsburgh. And honestly, there was a lot of great opportunities on both sides, mostly Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh dominated offensively, it seemed like, for the majority of the first period. And honestly, the majority of the first half of this game, really. I mean, Chicago had good opportunities, but, like, Pittsburgh was just, they were just all over them. Like, how dare they make us play a back-to-back Saturday, Sunday? Chicago thinks they're going to get the easy Penguins, and not tonight. We roll into the second period, and about 2.5 minutes into that period, Evgeny Malkin gets a beautiful pass from Poulang, who got a beautiful pass from Pierre-Olivier Joseph. Malkin standing practically wide open, going right into the front of the net, right down the slot, right down the middle. This dude, Evgeny Malkin, he's played 1,000 games. This is his 1,000th game in the NHL. And somehow he's still able to just glide right into the goalie. And of course, you get the puck on his stick as he's doing this, and everybody's watching him like, oh my God. Malkin puts it right over the goalie's shoulder, right in the back of the net. And it was one of those good ones where it just clips the inside of the net and it pops right back out. And it's like, and Malkin's celebrating like he just won the gold medal in the Olympics. It's like, you feel good for the guy. You know what I mean? Especially after the last couple of years he's had something like that. 1,000 games. Bare injury, he probably would have reached 1,000 games last year. But, to finally get to that point and to also score in a night like that, it's pretty awesome for him. Speaking of pretty awesome, a few minutes later, Pittsburgh in the offensive zone, that first line out there, Marcus Pettersson's out there. Marcus Pettersson walks. He receives a pass at the blue line. He walks it in a little bit. He passes it to Sidney Crosby. This guy's name is just going to pop up all over the score sheet tonight. Sidney Crosby, who then passes it for a one-timer to Ricard Raquel, who puts it in the back of the net. Arguably, a very good 1T, by the way. It's like the first time in a while Crosby's had somebody who he can pass for a one-timer, because you don't really see them do one-timers as often with forwards on the Penguins, just when they're offensively. It's usually the defenseman going for the 1Ts, or like Malkin. Malkin's one-timer goes at like 900 miles an hour. And for some reason, it's like a bullet. It's like he's firing a 50 caliber sniper round into the back of the net every time he gets a one-timer. It misses more often than not, but when it goes in, it's beautiful. And when Ricard Raquel hits a one-timer, apparently when it goes in, it's just gorgeous because it was really nice. Soderbaum decided that he was going. He got over, except he got over to the point where when it hit his foot, the angle of which it hit his foot, it shot it right into the back of the net. So it's like, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? Penguins are up 3-0. But as we know, things change. Hockey is a ever unforgiving sport. And, the Penguins learned in the defensive zone about halfway through the second period. Letang, the commentators were talking about this heavy, but he was interfering a little bit. Letang had a few penalties in this game, but one of them that he didn't actually get called on him still ended up leading to us getting scored on. It happens, right? But yeah, Jason Dickinson. I think it's Jason Dickinson. There's a couple Dickinsons in the NHL right now. Getting all interfered on by Chris Letang, according to the Chicago broadcasting commentary team. He's getting all kinds of interfered. Letang's just up in his grill, and he gets the puck, and he makes this great solo effort, and he drags Casey DeSmith across the crease, and he passes it to Kara, and Kara puts it in the back of the net because they're fourth line, which I don't even know if it's Chicago's fourth line. Like, when I think about a hockey team, I think that line of Kara, Dickinson, and I think who was it, Watson? I don't even remember who the other guy on that line was, to be honest with you. To me, that's a fourth line. To them, to Chicago, I don't know. Is it your third line? I don't know. They were doing really good in this game, all things considered. They were like the only offensive threat other than Patrick Kane, because Patrick Kane is Patrick Kane. And speaking of Patrick Kane, just a few minutes later, Patrick Kane is him and Taze is battling behind the net. Connor Murphy, the former Arizona Coyote, like top two defenseman, battling behind the net. Gets the puck to Jonathan Taze. Jonathan Taze is battling behind the net. Jonathan Taze pops out to the front of the net, passes it to Patrick Kane. Patrick Kane does one of those little, same thing kind of like a Malkin did, where it just goes in and then it comes out. And it was so deceiving that even Jonathan Taze is like, did he score? And Jonathan Taze goes for the puck again because he didn't know. He didn't know that it went in. And Kane is like the goat of scoring goals that don't even look like they were goals, but he sells it so hard that it makes you go, that was definitely a goal. And then you look and it was a goal, but it's like, it didn't look like a goal at all. But Kane knew. Man's the goat of doing this. This is something that he always does. And so it's a 3-2 game. We roll into the third period. Oh, and in the second, Teddy Bluger had a breakaway and was stopped, by the way. Very clear-cut breakaway as well. He had plenty of time to figure something out, but it happens, right? You don't ever really see Teddy Bluger getting a breakaway, but when you do you expect him to score? I don't know. Soderblom was the better player on that exchange. Rolling into the third period, and it was again a lot of good opportunities, a lot of good saves by Casey Smith, a lot of decent saves by Soderblom. And then at 15:49 in the third period, Kurashev of the Chicago Blackhawks, practically out of nowhere, just takes the puck off in our defensive zone, in their offensive zone, our defensive zone, and just rifles in the back of the net, just out of the blue. It surprised the commentators. It surprised everybody on the ice. It probably surprised him, and I'm sure it definitely surprised Pittsburgh. And once again, it's a 3-3 tie in the third period, and the Penguins gave up a 3-0 lead. And at that point, all Pittsburgh fans are like, please, no, not again. Please, hockey gods. Thanksgiving's coming up. Please. And the hockey gods answered our prayers with a Sidney Crosby goal. Because, again, Sidney Crosby just was relentless in this game. As they are calling the tying goal, Kurashev's tying goal, Crosby gets past the puck by Jake Gensel, who got it from Letang. And, he shoots it on the net, huge rebound, fights in the front of the net, puts it in the back of the net. Backhanded. Good old backhand style, Crosby style, right? 4-3 Pittsburgh. Right after they're announcing the tying goal. Chicago fans are going nuts. Crosby puts it in the bag, and then you could just hear silence. You could hear a pin drop on the ice. And then just to add insult to injury, soak it in a little bit longer, Crosby gets another assist, giving the puck over to Jeff Carter to put it in the back of the net for the empty net goal, giving the Penguins a 5-3 victory in Chicago last night. Your 3 stars of the game. First star, Sidney Crosby. I mean, nobody was beating him for that spot. The man had 3 assists and a goal. Followed up by Evgeny Malkin, his 1,000th game, and the man got a pretty positive. Yes, a goal. He got a goal. He got a goal in his 1,000th game. Hats off to Gino. Third star, Rickard Rakell, for that one beautiful one-timer. He had a goal and 2 assists in this game. Well, a goal and assist in this game. Stats were Chicago outshot the Penguins 32-25. We had a better face-off percentage. Nobody could score on the power play. There's a considerable amount of penalty minutes, considerably in Chris Letang's fault, I guess you could say. The important penalties against us, I guess you could say. At least they didn't score on them, right? Our hits are considerably lesser than before, but like I said, I never expected us to be a hitting team in the first place. So to see our hits lower than it's normal, in my opinion. Other than that, our takeaways were still ungodly high. Our giveaways were also ungodly high. And Pittsburgh wins 5-3 going into Chicago. Sidney Crosby looking like a beast. This man's out here with his Movember mustache, looking like a beast, playing like a beast. Malkin got his 1,000th game in under his belt. Got a goal in it. And that's it. This has been that Pens Fan 412. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you dislike the video, give it a dislike. I expect honesty, people, honestly. We are close to 20 subscribers, so if you're watching, if you're new to this video, if you're new to this channel, and you like my content, give it a little subscribe-y. Close to 20 subscribers now. Trying to get there sooner rather than later. And thank you all for watching. It has been a wonderful time. Having 2 back-to-back dubs for the Pittsburgh Penguins is always glorious, especially when it's on the road. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.